That new car smells great, but is the prospect of owning a new vehicle worth going into debt for years to come? Over the past few years, car prices have been rapidly increasing. While that can be a good sign for the economy, it means consumers will have a harder time affording new vehicles. And because 64% of U.S. adults drive daily, as prices go up, many who rely on their cars for transportation could be forced to take out long-term auto loans in order to afford one. Why are car prices going up? In May of 2019, the average price of a new car purchased in the U.S. climbed to $36,718 with interest rates hovering around 6% according to automotive information site Edmunds. That's up from $35,742 in 2018, which was already a 2% increase from 2017 according to Kelley Blue Book. This increase in automobile prices is due to a number of factors, including rising interest rates and higher average transaction prices, Edmunds reports. In 2018, interest rates began to increase, and by April of 2019, the annual percentage rate on new vehicles averaged around 6.4%, marking a new record since 2009, according to Edmunds. Although interest rates fell to 5.7% as of September, they remain inflated, and the cost of purchasing a new car is still a lot higher than it was a few years ago. In September of 2014, by comparison, the average APR on a new car was just 4.2%. Additionally, shifts in consumer preferences and industry trends have led in part to a higher average transaction prices. That's because there's a trend toward bigger cars rather than compact ones with more advanced features. Think built-in navigation, Bluetooth capabilities, high-tech safety features, and more, which certainly helps to move prices upward. Ivan Drury, a senior manager of industry analysts at Edmunds, tells CNBC Make It. Buyers are also choosing to splurge more on high trim level vehicles than they used to, Drury says. A vehicle's trim level, also sometimes referred to as a trim package, is determined by the kind of features it comes with, including any premium grade finishes, high-tech features, and performance upgrades. Back in 2008, the average base manufacturer suggested retail price for a car was $23,900, with consumers choosing to add around $6,500 and options and trim levels, bringing the car's overall price to $30,400. In 2019, by comparison, the average base $1,000 was consumers paying around $10,000 for trim level add-ons, which brings the total price to $39,000. Drury explains. We attribute this price to the increasing amount of options that are technology based and can add up quickly if someone wants the latest and greatest. Drury says. Why are rising car prices a problem? In the last 40 years, wages for American workers have hardly rose, according to the Pew Research Center. But in the past, automobile prices and interest rates have increased rapidly. This discrepancy has made it difficult for many Americans to afford cars, the Wall Street Journal reports. As a result, many U.S. adults have taken out auto loans with longer terms, which means they're often left in the debt for years and end up paying more in interest over time. In 2018, the most common term length for an auto loan sat around 6 years, with 7-year loans a close second. According to Edmunds, by the first half of 2019, more than a third of auto loans for new vehicles had terms of longer than 6 years, according to a credit reporting from Experian. For many years, the availability of loans with longer terms has created an illusion of affordability, the journal reports. That's because the longer the loan, the more interest you have to the more interest due to the lender. In addition to the principal, plus longer term loans tend to have higher interest rates, Edmunds reports, which cost you more over the life of the loan, even if the monthly payments are lower. Try not to fall into the trap of extending the life of a loan to keep your monthly payments lower, says Matt Quincy, a car buying expert affiliated with Consumer Reports. At 72 so basically a 6-year and 84, which is 7 years loan will increase the amount of interest you will wind up paying. That's why you should try to put as large down a payment as you can in the beginning. Additionally, when buyers funnel money into a new car, they're paying for a depreciating asset. If you are thinking about purchasing a new car with a loan, you should always remember that on average, cars drop more than 20% in value as soon as you drive off the dealership lot. Ryan Marshall, a New Jersey-based affiliated financial planner, tells CNBC Make It it's after 20 years your car's value will have dipped by close to 90%, Marshall says. That means no matter how much money consumers put into a car, they'll likely earn just a fraction of it back to sell the vehicle and buy a new one. Buyers should also take into account whether they are realistically going to keep their automobile for longer than the length of the loan. Loans of 5 or 6 years are realistic term lengths, but only for those consumers that are committed to keeping their vehicle for that length or longer. In the U.S., the average length of a new vehicle ownership stands at almost 7 years. Basically, people own their cars for 7 years and then they junk it or sell it. From research company IHS Markit, the same holds true for Marshall's clients who he says keeps their cars for an average of 7 years. As a result, he typically recommends taking shorter loans. If you can't pay it off in 3 to 4 years, you probably can't afford the car to begin with, Marshall says. By the time 7 years is up, you're probably starting to look for a replacement car and will need to start this process all over again. How should you approach taking a car loan? Before buying a vehicle, you should always figure out how much car you can realistically afford. While some experts advocate for the 15% strategy, meaning 50% of your take-home pay would be the maximum amount you could put forward toward your monthly car payments, it's smarter to take a look at your past loans as a gouge for future ones, Jury says. Ask yourself, was it difficult to pay off each month, or did I ever fall behind? If you've never had an auto loan, try putting away the same amount of money you expect to spend on a car loan payment for about 3 to 6 months. If the exercise causes you to go over budget, you can then adjust accordingly and perhaps shift the saved money towards a down payment, Jury says. Another useful tool is to use an auto loan calculator provided by Edmunds by entering your zip code to see your local rates and pricing, details about the cars you're looking to buy, any applicable trade-in or down payment information, potential financing options, and your credit score. You'll get a monthly loan payment estimate which can help you determine whether you could afford the car in question and what your monthly payments would look like.